I want to make my comments on the evidence given by this police officer called Murangiri. Uh, Sometimes I ask myself a lot of questions. I don't know him personally. That leads to confusion. In fact, if I would have known him, I would have gone to ask a few questions here to get clearance here and there, but I don't know him. But I was so shocked with a lot of things with this fellow that I felt that I should comment on it. First and foremost, I have to pass my apologies to the Judicial Service Commission because in Kenya's system, you don't comment on an active case. You don't comment on an active case, but then there are some things that, with the due respect to the Judicial Service Commission, we are forced to comment. Not that we have contempt of court or anything, but there are some things we just look at that. And it is good I was watching it alone. I had nobody else in the house. Otherwise, a lot of questions would have been asked to me. And the person who would have asked me the questions would find I'm more confused than him or her. There's a lot of things that is happening. In a recent recording, I had even said that if this is what they are now calling police service, then I would beg the government to revert it to the police force, because during the police force, people are less educated, but police officers were less educated, but there are more. These are the current ones. We have a lot of tonton. If you have read the history of Haiti, we have a lot of tonton youths. But then there is a lot of confusion here and there. First and foremost, I would say that when you see a police officer giving evidence in court in that confused manner, it shows the current situation of the police service in Kenya. My reading of the Constitution, of the 2010 Constitution, says that instructions, police are different from the military. Police are different from the military. The military, the president is their commander in chief. So the president can say anything because he's their commander in chief. But the National Police Service, they are not under the president. And even the minister, the cabinet secretary for internal security, I've seen, especially Murkomen. This thing I didn't see it with Kindiki. Murkomen is behaving as if he's a senior inspector general. He's making the inspector general be like senior deputy inspector general, and he himself being the inspector general. My understanding of the 2010 Constitution is that operational matters, operational issues, and whatever. I'm even told in the morning he's going to give out instructions and whatever. Serving standing orders. It used to be called force standing orders, but now it is called serving standing orders. And in the intelligence special branch, you have the SB directives. I don't know what they call them nowadays. Special branch directives are just like the force standing orders, or currently the service standing orders. There is nowhere even a constable can get instructions from the cabinet minister for internal affairs. There is no way an inspector general can, it is as embarrassing as, you remember the chairman of IPOA, was invited to give a speech by the Inspector General. And you know how it brought about. So, policy matters, yes, policy matters, they are under the cabinet secretary. But operational matters, it is strictly under the Inspector General. And again, in the police service, we have something that is called disobeying a lawful command. Disobeying a lawful command. Meaning, if your officer in charge, or your or the officer commanding you gives you instructions which are not lawful, even a recruit who had not stepped in Form 1 in 1980 would tell you that I cannot follow instructions which are not lawful. If in fact, when you are taken for any disciplinary action, and you convince the people that the instructions you get where they were given to you, you believed that they were not lawful. That's why you did not obey them. But if you know that they are lawful command and you disobey, that is when action can be taken against you. So what I'm seeing, the first scenario I'm trying to see is a scenario where the police are held in such a way, especially in the last 3 years, especially in the last, not even the last 3 years. I'm seeing it from the time when Kindiki left the ministry. Kindiki, you can remember, Kindiki, when he was the Minister for Internal Affairs, he never left Kenya, and he was always around going. Did you hear such things? No. It is just that somebody came and said these are the new orders. So we can say that we can have the best constitution and whatever, but then the best constitution is in the heart and the minds of people. Now, when we are seeing even okay, I can repeat it, I don't know for how many times. When you see the Deputy Inspector General Masengeli being asked about what is happening there, and he denies the obvious. That is the situation where we are having. My understanding is that the police officers have been taught on how to handle various issues. They have to handle various issues, but now at the back of their head, they are always thinking somebody's watching me and somebody's monitoring me, and that is how they are behaving sifuabakanili. Yeah, that is how they are behaving sifuabakanili. That is the first thing I came about to think about it. Police officers are now doing things in a sifuabakanili way because they have two alternating. There is the training they had, and then there is the new order of the day. Now they are confused. They are confused. You can see from Mukhwana, when Mukhwana was told about Ojwang, he tried to argue, and he was told, don't you know that it is the boss who has said so? That is one element. I also want to believe that this Murangiri, was he initially recruited into the general duties, or are these people who came from the administration police service? There was a time when 2/3 of the administration police officers went to general duties. It is my belief, I may be wrong, it is my belief that a civilian going to Kiganjo for the period of the recruit time can be made a general duty quicker than an AP who has worked as an AP for say 10 years, and then he's just transferred from an AP camp to a police station and told to try and catch up. It is quite possible that Murangiri may have initially started off as an AP. And that is why you find that even the police bosses, if I was still in if I was still in service and I wanted something to be done quickly, and there are two constables here, I would prefer the former AP doing the job for me, because the former AP, you just tell him enda huko kwa kijiji, enda ulete hiyo watu weke sehemu. Even if they are putting on uniform of the general duties, they tend to follow instructions with very little questioning. When listening to the same cop, Murangiri, I remembered several times when I was a student of Special Branch Training School, we were repeatedly told that, I want you to listen this, we were repeatedly told that the surest way not to be caught cheating is simple. Do you know why? The surest way not to be caught cheating is not to cheat. If you cheat, however good a liar you are, you there is a chance in a million that you can be caught. So the surest way not to be caught cheating is don't cheat. Now here is somebody, I'm very sure that if you approach him and ask him, are you Murangiri? He would say, I think I'm not the one. He's denying everything. Okay, I said that the surest way not to be caught cheating is not to cheat. The second surest way is that when all facts are clear, are obvious, usiruke. Don't deny the obvious. Remember, all that is being discussed in the law courts is meant for the judicial officer, the magistrate or the judge. Now, when the judge or the magistrate forms an opinion that you are a liar, even the few truth you'll be talking about, it will be proven that you are lying. Now, here's the story. He says that on 18th he was given an oath, and he had gone to see a sick child. So he was not on duty. But the individual on duty on that day is the exact fellow who was there on the 20th. It's the same fellow on the 20th, and it's the same fellow who is photographed several times shooting into the crowd. And you see the way he cheats. You see, this is a problem. I want to. Do we have APs who went to the general duties? Very many. I would really talk to them before I even continue with what I wanted to say. This is a different world. This is a different world. This is like Mandera. This is like Moyale. And this is like Liboi. You drive your vehicle on the left, but as you cross the boundary, you go to the other side, you start driving your vehicle on the right. The mentality, the environment in the AP is quite different from the general duty. You are too many to have gone for a conversion course. Whoever started a conversion course for the GSU, remember, in the GSU, when you have spent, when you start getting old, you get out of a GSU, you go to general duties. Since the time when in the mid-60s, anybody coming from GSU going to the general duties would undergo a 3-month course in Kiganjo, which is called conversion. A lot of APs were converted to general duties a lot of them were converted into general duties without undergoing the conversion course. You still have that AP mentality whereby you land into problems. Let me tell you, an AP constable getting a problem in Todonyang, Masengeli will follow it up as if it is his job which is on the line. That is the mentality of the AP. But the mentality of the general duties, the problems that gets you get people telling you that just keep offers, maliza shida zako. Ukishindwa uende nyumbani ama jela, but ukishinda urudi kazi, you'll see them being close to you telling you tulijua utashinda case. But with the APs, I have a case with the Nyayo house. Is it 8th floor? All of them, Mr. Kadhuri is a commissioner of police, begging me not to withdraw my complaint. Unajua tu sijui, and very very humble, wanting me to withdraw my written complaint. That is with the AP. You touch one of them, You have touched all of them. General duties, you have a problem, solve that problem alone. I will not talk to you. Once you have completed the case, you come back. Now, this Murangiri, he must have gone on that riot issue with that AP mentality. With that AP mentality, which I'll say, one, any instructions you are given, you follow without questioning. Two, you go into problems, it is the whole AP up to Masengeli. He'll take it as if it is his personal issue. Now he is now in problems, and that is what also happened with Mukhwana, and that is what is also bringing tension between the AP and the general duties. You see, the APs who remained in the AP are very much annoyed with those police officers in the general duties, that they are thinking that you set up our people, you set them up, and when you set them up, you have left them that way. No, if you are an AP who is still in the AP, or if you are an AP who was converted into general duties, just know this thing. It did not start today. It started during our time, even earlier than me. I joined the police in the early 80s. It was there even in the 60s and 70s. The thing is, first of all, identify the work you are being assigned. Is it a lawful command? If it is a lawful command, do it. And if anything goes bad with you, just know that it is upon you alone. Once you complete the case, watakurukia as if tulijua tu utashinda case. And that is why every time a general duty police officer succeeds in a case, he is immediately transferred. So, Madam AP or Afande AP, when you see your former colleagues now being left on their own, it is only two things. One, a police officer from Kiganjo knows that it is in his DNA that he has to look left and right while doing something. And he knows from the word go that whatever befalls him, so he's very careful from the word go. But you being a former AP, going there, first of all, you follow the instructions because you know it is the boss who has given you instruction. And secondly, you go there thinking that should you land into problems, it will be a problem for all of you. I think I can't emphasize that from any far. So I'm saying that the person, this fellow says that he was on duty, he was on off duty on 18th, but on 20th he was on duty. Now on 18th, when he was not there, somebody who resembles him very well was on duty. The only thing is that he had an armband, but his armband had the Kenyan flag. It is the only thing that he must somebody must have told him to cut it off. Otherwise, he had an armband. That is the only thing. Now, the fellow who was on duty on 18th and the fellow who was on duty on 20th is the same person. But that person looks alike like him. He can't tell a lot of things. For example, we have police officers who resemble each other, ABCD. He cannot tell us why somebody who resembles him very much was on duty on 18th. The same person was on duty on 20th. The same person had been given a tear gas launcher, but on 20th at times he's working without a tear gas launcher, at times he's working with tear gas launcher. He's saying that once you are given a firearm, you have to return it in the evening. Now he was given a tear gas launcher. He moved around with it. There are pictures being taken of him without that. And you see how the town was very sensitive. You could not hand over you could not even leave your firearm somewhere. So, and that is what I'm saying. I talked of this thing I was taught that the best way not to be caught cheating is not to cheat. But I added my own by saying when caught red-handed, don't deny the obvious. So it is obvious that the person who was there on the 18th is the same person who was there on 20th, and he's saying that he had no firearms given to, pistols or something. He had only been given he had only been given a tear gas launcher. But the question is, why should a police officer in plain clothes be given a tear gas launcher? Why should he sign for that? That is for the what do you call riot party. Because Musamali was telling Dr. Kingori the other day, there is the inspector, there is the Baton party, there is the two types of, is it two or three? There are two types of gun holders. There is those ones who have, there are three. There are those ones with the tear gas launchers, ile iko na mdomo kubwa. There are those with the blanks, and there are those with live bullets. It is only among themselves who know who is having the blanks and the live bullets. And then you find that a police officer in civilian signing for tear gas launcher, still a problem. And then he has I said my second point is, when you are caught red-handed, don't deny it. Now he's being told tags from the camera that took, because the camera says where it took, talks of where it was taken, it talks of where the camera is taken, it talks of the other tags is from Safaricom mast on along what do you call Intercontinental Hotel. They place the picture of the person with the Kenyan armband is around the same place along Uhuru Highway, next to Uhuru Park, next to what do you call uh, Intercontinental Hotel. And he's being asked, is it Intercontinental Hotel next to Uhuru Park? He says no, it is not next to Uhuru Park. It is next to Parliament. Murangiri, if you come across this video, let me advise you one thing, as I advise other people. Questions being asked in court are not meant for you. Never even once think that they are meant for you. They are meant to convince the judge or the magistrate. Now, when they ask you that, isn't Intercontinental next to Uhuru Park? I said, no, it is not next to Uhuru Park, it is next to Parliament. Now, apart from the Borana or the Gare, who is in Wargadud, Elwak area, everybody knows where Intercontinental is. Everybody knows that. Save for what do we call? Save for proof from what do you call, firearm ballistic experts. Everything points that this is the fellow who was this is the fellow who was even shooting with a pistol. Now the question now comes is why should already he has already shown examples of where he himself says he was given the gun, which is a tear gas launcher. So in some pictures he has it, some pictures he doesn't have, and in some pictures he's shown following crowd of people who are running away, shooting at them with a small firearm, which is either a pistol or a revolver. Now we come to it's already being shown that the fidelity of somebody signing for a firearm and returning that firearm in the evening is not observed. It is now becoming very obvious that when they are still in the operation, they exchange guns, and that is a very serious breach. I would also advise any police officer not to do that if they are doing that, because the gun you signed for, if the ballistic experts come and find that it is the same gun that that killed somebody, and maybe that is the time when you had given another officer to handle it, you will find yourself convicted of murder. Hmm? Because there is a time when he's working with just a club with a walkie-talkie club and walkie-talkie club and the tear gas launcher. But there are other times when he does not have the tear gas launcher. It is a very, very serious matter, and which will be. And then, as I said a few minutes ago, any questions you are being asked in court, it is not, you are not even being asked. It is a statement that is being told to the judicial officer, who is a magistrate. Now, when they say bring that picture near, do you know that you have a birthmark here? You say you don't know. Do you know what that means? You're trying to tell people that there is a somebody who was cross-examining him and saying, when you go home, take a mirror and look at yourself. Now, when it comes to an extent where even that birthmark can come and be seen there, it only shows that the most likely person to have, and you see, this is a problem with denying. He's denying everything, denying. But I understand, especially if he happens to be a former AP. You see, a former AP, you go there. Somebody told it's the worth and any. What is it? There is an animal in Masai Mara where when a lion attacks one of them, the others come and attack the lions. But general duties of the Kenya police, even if you have been given instruction, clear instructions, and anything falls bad, you are told to fight your war alone. So I'm understanding you. I want my viewer to understand what I'm trying to say is that I'm trying to see this person as a former AP who joined the police without undergoing conversion course. Why didn't they go for conversion course? Because 2/3 of the AP were converted into general duties, and there were too many to go for a conversion course. Any GSU who goes to general duties, he or she must undergo a conversion course of not less than 3 months in Kiganjo. But AP, they are doing that. So I would not be shocked to find that this fellow has that AP mentality where do what you do, any problem befalling you, we will die. You touch one AP, you touch all of them. Now that things have gone haywire, hey. Bwana Murangiri, welcome to Life After Force. You'll not be alone there. We were there. We left, we came. We didn't die. We are still there. We are observing from that. The only difference between me and you is that it is possible you'll go through court and even probably through jail. Me, I've never appeared in court as an accused person. But anyway, we learn as life goes on. What else can somebody say? Nothing.